This is the Hert, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. Joy Taylor is joining me. It's been a very rambunctious show. I now have a Baker Mayfield jersey. It is hanging in my office.
We should have got it before so Baker could sign it for
By
you.
the way, listen, I like Sam Darnold's future better than Baker over 15 years, but Baker can play. Darnold can play. Josh Rosen can play. They've all looked like I told you they would look like. I said Darnold's going to be the young. He's going to be kind of choppy. He's the youngest, 27 college starts, youngest by a year, but he's going to be some big homeworks with him. Last week, couple of big home run. Baker's too accurate to bust, and Josh Rosen will look the prettiest. That's exactly what they've all been. By the way, I told you Lamar Jackson, not ready to play. He's not ready to play. So regardless, you and I can differentiate on our opinions, but they can all play. And by the way, Darnold, Rosen, Josh Allen, and for that matter, Lamar, but Darnold, Rosen, Allen, all available to the New York Giants. And they stink. By the way, that's why I supported Odell Beckham. Okay.
Yes.
So in 15 minutes, a guy that called him crap before the year, Brian Cox, multiple Pro Bowler, very tight into the NFL. We brought him on the show, and he said, Giants aren't going to be any good. Eli's not any good. He called it. He'll be joining us. I love that. In Best for Last, I'm going to show you 3 stats in the NFL so far this season. They're going to blow your mind. But let's start. Dez Bryant is making noise again, so hour number 3. Let me start with that. So Jerry Jones came out this week, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, biggest brand in the NFL, biggest brand in the world in professional football. And he said, the thing in Dallas is we haven't had a true number one receiver for years. My definition, like Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, and not a lot of guys around the NFL. We haven't had a guy like that for several years. Well, of course, Dez Bryant, who has no life and sits on Twitter all night, fired back several times. At first, he showed a little class, and then he did what Dez does. He freaks out, he gets emotional, and he goes on Twitter and says things that, I'm the man, pay homage to the man. Here's the interesting thing about Dez Bryant. Does Dez Bryant realize if he was on like 30 other NFL teams, he'd be completely irrelevant? He would be. He would be completely irrelevant. The Dallas Cowboys made Dez Bryant. You put him on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who cares? We never talk about Mike Evans. Mike Evans today is better than Dez Bryant was at his peak. We never talk about Mike Evans. Only people who talk about Mike Evans are fantasy football fans. I mean, here's what's amazing. So I thought to myself this morning, let's take Dez's best years. He had 3 years where he was a legitimate number one playmaker. 3 years, 2012, 2013, 2014. So that was at his best. So if you take the greatest 7 or 8 wide receivers I've ever seen play, Jerry Rice, T.O., Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, Marvin Harrison, I went and looked at all of them. On average, Jerry Rice, 12 great years. Maybe not his rookie year, maybe not his last year, 12 great years. Chris Carter, Randy Moss closer to 8, Marvin Harrison closer to 8, Calvin Johnson closer to 9. Calvin could have played 3 more years. The average for great receivers was 9 years. Dez Bryant was great for 3. If Dez Bryant was never a Dallas Cowboy, he'd be Mike Evans. And Mike Evans already has a better career and appears to have another 4 or 5 years of Pro Bowl level play. In fact, let me play a blind. We do blind resume once in a while for our radio audience. I'll put Dez Bryant, player 1, player 2. These are the blind comparable stats. And it looks like pretty much the same guy. 530 catches, 8,000 yards, 3,000-yard seasons. And do you know who the players are? Dez Bryant is one of the players. Okay, he's one of the players. The other player is Mike Wallace. Did you even know he was on the Eagles? It's his 5th team. He's hurt again. On the Eagles, he's had 3 targets and officially no catches. Dez Bryant should count his lucky stars. He is the most over-discussed, over-hyped, over-tweeted, self-deluded player in the NFL over the last decade. I mean, even among Bryants, there's Kobe Bryant, the Cubs' Chris Bryant, the former football coach Bear Bryant, and Bryant Gumbel. They're more interesting and more productive than Des Bryant. So officially on this show, this is the last time I'm ever talking about Des Bryant, I think, unless he becomes a Patriot. Let me shift gears to this. From somebody who is overrated to somebody I think historically that's actually kind of underrated, LeBron James. I have never talked about the NBA in early October in my life. Not one time. The NBA season usually opens second, third week of October. I don't talk about it until like the Christmas games. You know, defenses are changing. There's a lot of experimenting first 2 months. Of course, it's all changing now because this is A-Rod to the Yankees. This would be like Tom Brady going to the Cowboys. LeBron James is going to the number one brand in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers. And tonight they're playing the Golden State Warriors in Vegas. It's an exhibition game. I'll watch 30, 40, I'll watch the whole thing. And I would never do that before. There's a moment in this article by Bleacher Report, though. For all of you doubters on LeBron and the Lakers, there is a line in this story that says, with a supporting cast of Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, Josh Hart, Lance Stevenson, the Lakers aren't that much better than the Cavs squad. Timeout. Apparently this person's television doesn't work because he didn't watch the Cavs. I'm going to line up to you how much better the Lakers are than last year's Cavs team with LeBron that got to the finals. I'm going to line them up. The best player for Cleveland, now that LeBron's gone, is Kevin Love, who now is not only on the back nine of his career, Kevin Love is an 18-point-a-game defensive liability. The Lakers' best player is Brandon Ingram, who's a significantly better defender, averaged 16.5 in his second year, and projects, if you look at his averages, to be a 22-point-a-game guy this year with LeBron. LeBron's already intimated, I'm going to get him the ball. The second best player for the Cavs no longer fits in the NBA, Tristan Thompson. He can't shoot. Sort of an issue in 2018. The Lakers' second best player is Kyle Kuzma, who has a rookie average 16 a game. His numbers should go up, because he'll be better. The third best Cavalier is George Hill. 11 points, 3 assists, career average. I'll say the Lakers' third best is Rondo. 11 points, 8.5 assists. Passing's big for guards, and a much better defender. The fourth best Cav is J.R. Smith, I think, who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I do like him. He is fun and can shoot, but he may be the worst defensive player in the league. The fourth best player for the Lakers is KCP, a two-guard who's younger, longer, more athletic, hell of a defender, and right now every bit the shooter. All the Cav players are older and getting worse. All the Laker players are younger and getting better. I did not mention Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart, who Laker coaches, Doug Gottlieb told us yesterday, love both and project both as starters. Folks, if you think this team's going to struggle to get to 40 wins, you're out of your gourd. Last 4 years without LeBron, they were 4-23 in the weaker East. The Lakers last year without LeBron and a bunch of babies, a bunch of kids, won 35 games in the significantly tougher Western Conference. This Laker roster is younger, more athletic, quicker, longer, significantly better defensively. Lakers going to be just fine. Brian Cox is around the corner. He called it. Lakers, for the record, do play tonight, preseason against Golden State, ramping up. Their season starts next Thursday, I think. NBA season starts next Tuesday, in earnest. I think the Lakers start on Thursday, so I'm excited for it. And we've got a lot of show left. Brian Cox is joining us right around the corner, the most outspoken, honest guy, well-connected that we have on this show regularly. Heads up, everybody. You've heard it by now. Hackers exploited a security vulnerability at Facebook, exposing the personal information of nearly 50 million Facebook accounts. Brutal. Facebook says they fixed the vulnerability and they informed law enforcement. But with your personal info from a data breach, criminals open accounts, they can file tax returns, so many threats in today's connected world, what you don't want is a really weak individual link for criminals to get in. That's where you have LifeLock. They've added the power of Norton Security. And nobody stops every threat, and nobody can monitor transactions at all businesses. But new LifeLock with Norton Security can see threats you'd miss on your own. Go to LifeLock.com and put in the code HERD, or go to 1-800-LifeLock, call 1-800-LifeLock, and use the promo code HERD, H-E-R-D, and you'll get 10% off your first year. Also, in both instances, you'll get a $25 Amazon gift card with annual enrollment. 1-800-LifeLock or LifeLock.com code HERD. Terms and conditions apply.